Little Bounkham Phonesavang's parents are now nearly $1 million in debt due to a botched SWAT team raid in Cornelia, Georgia, which led to this. His family was staying with an aunt the night he was put to bed in his playpen. Hours later, a flashbang grenade was thrown into his little bed when the SWAT team burst into the house looking for this man on a no-knock warrant. A 30-year-old relative was sought on charges of selling methamphetamine and possession of a firearm. He wasn't there. The county initially promised to pay the baby's medical expenses, then backed out.
I was very upset. My husband and I were very disappointed that they would try and shift the blame and say that they were not responsible for it. We have no hope to take care of this on our own. We struggle day to day just to feed our family and take care of our immediate needs.
I think what we've shown is that if we continue to expose how no-knock search warrants, how the use of military weaponry impacts everyday ordinary people, then I think the citizens say this is not in the interest of most Americans.
The night of the raid, the baby's chest wall was torn down to muscle, his face torn down to bone and teeth. He was put into a medically induced coma. After a public outcry, Senator Vincent Ford called for an investigation, while the baby, known as Boo Boo, spent the next several months in hospitals and operating rooms. In October, a Habersham County grand jury decided not to indict anyone involved in the raid. The infamous grand jury decision. Now, the baby's mother has mentioned that blame was seemingly shifted to the family. Now, here's what the grand jury stated about that. It said the children were in danger from the moment they moved into the residence, and the parents and extended family had some degree of knowledge concerning family members involved in criminal activity that came in and out of the residence. And as for the task force, well, the grand jurors wish to praise the foresight of the SRT commander to make available an ambulance in case of injuries. The availability of an ambulance should factor into the decision to initiate a search warrant, which is why there is an argument out there to do away with grand juries in these cases.
So I support the fact that the petitions that are existing, that law enforcement skip past that grand jury process and go straight to jury trial. Last point on that, because the grand jury's statements from this particular grand jury proceedings clearly states that this raid was rushed, hurried, sloppy, and not in accordance to procedure, but yet no one held accountable. That needs to change.
The U.S. Attorney's Office is still completing its investigation, but the family will go forward, taking their case to court to seek justice for the little boy who bears the scars of this conflict. In Washington, Lindsay France, RT.